Welcome to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Everybody. Pod 94.
After draft pod.
Elysian space dust.
Just like a typical IPA, yeah?
Oh, it's very West Coast. It's very, I would say, aggressive. I don't know
It's
if,
aggressive
if
real
I
out
have
front.
just adjusted my palate right yet to beer immediately. 8.2. Out of the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. So shout out to that. Actually, I got to sit at the brewery. I've told this story before I went to the Mariner game last year.
Before.
Before, right? Yeah,
Pre-game.
super chill. Nice little venue. But yeah, this is as West Coasty as we've had in a while. To be fair,
It is.
A
lot of hop.
Lots of hop. The bottle is kind of iconic though, with the the little space dusty hop. So check that out. X and Instagram, that'll be up. But shit, man, we had beers galore.
Charlie.
No, we don't get to have any fun. I was trying to skip it.
So
I was trying to run away from my obligations.
I know what he was doing. So last pod we did the draft picks. Actually, we all did really well. I had 8 people perfect and 9 people to the right teams. Josh Simmons just the trade at the end. Chuck and Trev both had 7 though, so right behind me. The only thing that kept, Trev had a lot of 1-pointers, and then Chuck had a lot of 1-pointers. Picking the right people, right positions. Trev had the 1-pointer to 18. He had the 1-pointer 21. Trev had a lot of 1-pointers, and so did Charlie. So good job with positions, boys. I only tied. So we all tied, and then we 30 points with the way our point breakdown went. I took the lead because I had the most people right. So now we got to flip a coin for these two fellas.
Yeah, see who loses the bet.
Okay.
Who's going to call it?
Whose heads and
Trev,
whose
you
tails?
call it. You call it. I'm gonna let. You want me to call it? I'll call it. You scoffed. I don't mind. I was just gonna give you
heads or tails. Somebody give me a number.
You gotta. It's got to be in air.
You can call it.
All right.
Am I catching?
Yeah, I hope so. Tails.
Tails.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I brought 2 hats today.
Thank you. Yes, show them to the camera.
I think Trev, since today's draft day, is gonna have to put on the beautiful.
Nothing hat. Beautiful about that. Painful.
It clashes.
Is your scalp burning? Does it just feel uncomfortable immediately?
Actually, it's a cozy.
It's actually, I like this hat.
Of course it is. I only buy cozy ones.
Yeah, sure.
So
there it is. There's the decided hat bet. Okay.
So we got playoff basketball. We'll get to a little bit. But, dude, we had a draft party at Charlie's house. Thanks for hosting, Charlie.
Dude, this house was fucking going for it. That's where the Elysian came from, and the other beer that we're gonna be drinking here in a little bit, All Wise, I bought 4 and completely forgot about because there's so much other shit going on.
Yeah, a lot of leftover beer in that fridge.
Well, yeah, I'm convincing Downey to take. Jay, I appreciate you, bro, but bringing Coors Light, that's a solo venture for you. I'm gonna send those back home with Zach because I am not gonna drink those, but I appreciate it. Then also we had some Tahoe Ale Works up at. We went to the Tahoe Night Monsters playoff game.
Yeah, on Friday,
and, brother. That was electric.
Where'd they play at?
Right on the corner of right when you get into State Line, like South Lake, right at the first. Remember, it used to be Mont Bleu. Yeah. That big ass parking lot. Now it's a little baby arena.
Shit.
It's nice, dude. It was real nice. The concourse was super clean, super chill. And the game was great. Game was classic. Go up, then trail, then come back and win. Sweep, bring out the broom, start yelling at the other team.
Any merch? Merch?
We dipped a little bit.
We should have.
Yeah,
we're planning a trip back to pick some up, but yeah, it was a great atmosphere. We were around a good group of people too. We had pretty good seats.
Yeah, no, that did absolutely make the people in front of us were on the same energy, dude. They were dancing and heckling, and it was a time, dude. It was a lot of fun. It was cool to see P Ride too. But we had a Tahoe Aleworks Cold IPA was the brew that we had, and that was really good.
Before that, do you remember the name of that one that we had?
It was like the Fog Noggler, Fogelhorn, or Fog something or other. That was a hazy out of South Lake Tahoe Brewing.
It was good.
And that was good. Yeah, we also did a shot of Casamigos, your favorite. Hey, man, it was a good call. It was smooth. It was nice. It was a nice shot.
Yeah, good time, though. Right.
Yeah.
We had lots of shots of whiskey, or you guys had lots of shots of whiskey on Thursday night.
You had one of the Penelope, right?
Yeah, one.
Yeah, the opening one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, shout out to Johnny and Josh once again, coming through with the bottles. And the Irish whiskey is pretty good, too. It's a straightforward Irish.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And for a single, it's relatively mild though. Like it's not hot, but it's in the vein. It's like okay, Irish whiskey.
We crushed a lot of good beers though. We had the milk stout. We had
Left Hand Shout,
Alaskan Amber.
Oh, classic, absolute up there in like if only a few beers had to exist in the world, I think that would be my overall amber pick. Just because I know what I'm getting every time.
I'd probably agree with that.
I fucking love that beer.
I wish I could find the Alaskan mix pack again. That was such a good mix pack.
Well, it rotates.
You'd get the white, the amber, and then the other IPA that they have. And then the fourth one would always be a rotation. And the white with the polar bear on it, dude, is such a good fucking brewski, too. I love that, like, white IPA.
It's not a white IPA. It's like a Belgian. It's like a Blue Moon. It's a wheat...
The polar bear? No, I think it's a white IPA.
No, I promise you it's not an IPA.
Is it a white?
It's a Belgian. It's a Belgian white. So it drinks a la Blue Moonish. Like it could accentuate with orange. I know that for a fact because I bought it thinking it was going to be closer to an IPA, and I was disappointed.
And then so I wish I could find that mix pack again. I guess I'm
sure it's out there. I'm sure it's. I'm sure
back
it's
in rotation soon.
somewhere. But shout out to Alaskan because they're classic for me for sure.
So we start talking sports, or we have some more beer talk?
Well, fucking Lakers sucking dick and taking names.
We're doing the East, homie.
I know, but it's sitting right in front of me.
It's simmering.
It's sitting right in front of me. I'm staring right at it.
Well, yeah, so the 1v8 is going pretty much as expected. Cleveland is spanking Miami right now on pretty much all fronts.
Yeah.
They're so good, dude. That team
They're clicking
that team
the
is
right
ready
time.
to fucking roll.
They very much look like they are.
And they figured out the two guard thing.
Yes.
You were against that for quite a while.
Because we've seen it not work.
Sure.
We've seen the two guard thing. Mobley, I think, is another player. He obviously that's the big three. You got a lot of other dudes in there, but Mobley now defensive player of the year, right?
Yes.
Didn't he win defensive player of the year this year? And his shooting finally isn't just a putback guy at the rim. He's actually got
spreading
some more
the floor
offense.
a little bit. Yes, that's key.
So the Cavs are just dominant, man.
They should finish the sweep
today.
today.
Yeah. I don't even think they should mess around with it. Just get it done.
I don't think the Heat have a chance.
Get some rest. 2v7. Magic came up on Friday. Made the series at least 2-1. Made it look, some window dressing to not look like they're getting their shit kicked in.
Yeah, that team needs Magic. They're not going to get out of the series.
Well, no, they
shouldn't. That team needs. So I think there's like three teams that need the exact same player. You have the Magic, the Knicks, and the Rockets all need Kevin Durant. You put Kevin Durant on any of those teams because those teams all struggle with the basketball. I thought the Magic, it's the kid from Gonzaga, right? Suggs. And then you still have Pablo, but you still need one other piece. I thought Clay would have been that piece last year. KCP's okay, defensively okay, but he doesn't score. So I just think the Magic need the same thing as the Knicks and the Rockets. The same dude.
Well, he's going to be on the move, so,
Correct.
I mean...
Could be big for any of those teams. Make it
because, look at how much the Knicks are struggling with the Pistons.
Okay.
We'll just jump right 3-6.
Yeah.
Like the Knicks should be beating the Pistons. Mikal Bridges has not worked. That is a signing that has not worked. That trade has not worked.
Trade.
They need to take that. They're taking the L in that with all the shit they gave up. They probably need to move on from him and try to get shit back.
So?
Well, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't
fit. Would you think that's Thibodeau not fitting him in though?
I don't know. I think Thibodeau's done too.
I always kind of hate the coach who refuses I am the system kind of coach versus like finding what system works with the talent you have.
Thibodeau needs to go to
because Mikal Bridges is a beast. Let's not forget that
he played a lot with the Nets and the Suns.
He can ball.
And he doesn't
maybe
miss
they
games.
can trade him back to the Suns. He would fit better there.
And then for KD, get him out of there.
Yeah, a part of the trade you'd have to do more shit.
Of course, the NBA trades are the most ridiculous thing you're ever going to see.
I really think that Thibodeau is a coach that needs to go to a bad team, builds them up to get to the playoffs, and then you fire him and bring somebody else in that's going to finish it off.
That's a bit cold.
I just think that he's not a finisher. He plays too many minutes. He plays too many minutes in the first. He plays the starters way too many minutes throughout the season. He's got to
no, that's proven,
and he's been doing that forever.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I mean, that's
Nick,
2-1
what is that?
as well.
2-1, right?
Yeah, that's 2-1 there.
Do they play today?
Yes, they do.
And then the 4-5 Bucks Pacers
That
is
series is
2-1 as
over.
well. The series isn't technically over.
It's over.
Over.
Yeah, that
it's
does play
not.
today.
The East is technically closer on paper right
Cavs play
now.
tomorrow.
But
the Bucks did get a game yesterday.
they sure did. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Dude, the Pacers, man. I think the Pacers.
If they click, they have some good talent that can do some good things. It's just they're very inconsistent and unproven in this part of the season. Right? That's why it's harder for me to trust teams like that. They can get because it's not like March Madness where it's per game, one game, right? You just got to see these guys one time, you got to beat them once, and then you're on to the next. Like a series is a very different sitch.
And that series looks like it could go deep. Knicks Pistons just tipped off.
Yeah,
there you go. Nice.
4-2, 4-2.
Nice.
A lot of games today, bud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 games today. 4 games. That's a lot of games today.
So then
5 actually because you have the one today. And did the Cavs already play today?
No.
That was yesterday. They beat the Heat.
I misspoke. They played on Monday.
Okay, so you have so 5 games today because the first game already tipped off. So you got 5 games today.
Lakers, Timberwolves. We got the Celtics, Magic, and the Pacers, Bucks.
We don't win today. I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
So let's talk about the Lakers.
It's going to be looking. Well, let's go 1v8 because that series actually closed
Pacers,
out.
Bucks. What do you think? Are we thinking you guys are still in the hunt there?
Sure, why not?
I think that could be a long series, actually.
Dude, you're right there. I give that one more faith in swinging than the 2-1 Pistons right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thunder already won.
I'm glad that you're anticlimactic about that.
Dude, they just beat the fucking piss out of them.
They had one close game on the score, on the box score,
back
but
from fucking however deep in that game too.
Outside of that, like they looked once again primed. The number 1 seeds both look good so far.
Yeah, they look ready.
Yeah. So 2v7, the Warriors, Dubs were able to go out and get one.
That's a big last night.
Needed it.
Out with Jimmy.
They up 2-1, so I'm good with that too.
That's another reason the Rockets need a Kevin Durant. They cannot fucking score the basketball.
They're transition time. They can't half court it. They can't create off the dribble.
They're like a college basketball team that
correct.
watch in March Madness.
Yeah, agreed.
They go through spurts where they can't fucking score.
Well, they're all fucking 21, 22 years old, 23 years old. They're a baby of a team too.
You called it right on the transition, dude. That's where they do. If they get out on transition,
fast.
they're gonna
break you.
Other than that, dude, they cannot play in a half court offense.
But they can't off ball gather a shot.
Can't win the playoffs without playing a half court offense. You know what they say.
That's exactly what they say. That's a great take, and I don't disagree with that. I think that back to the basketball can still work if you know how to run it.
They just can't score. They are a team that goes through spurts where they cannot fucking get a basket to save their life.
We need a bucket.
And the Lakers just looked like shit. Game 1 came out with no energy.
Flat.
Game 3, the other loss, Luka was sick, and you could tell he didn't have it. And then nobody else has really stepped up. LeBron hasn't kind of come through. They winning the whole game. Luka had a bad fourth because at that point he was out of gas.
Gassed. Yeah.
And no LeBron in the fourth. And then all of a sudden the T-Wolves went back to hitting like a ton of fucking threes at the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, and just kind of put him up. But, LeBron just hasn't looked good. Austin Reeves has been a clunker. He's been banging balls off the fucking rim and backboard.
Bunk.
So just not playing good basketball right now.
I pull for AR too. I like that guy. I like his
him.
story. Yeah, I like his game too.
Just
but
clunking.
it happens, and you don't. It sucks because the ratio of anything, a sport like that says you're going to have a bad game, right? You're going to have to. It's just you want to mitigate it at the time of the year you're fucking having it. When you're in the opening round of the playoffs,
you hope somebody else
just
does have a good game.
catching pangers off the back iron repetitively is so frustrating.
And then once Luka got in the fourth, he had like no legs left from having like
Sure,
the
he could probably barely breathe.
flu. You know, so he had nothing in the
It's all that
fourth.
extra weight. No, he's actually been trimming down.
No, I think he's
I'm
looked
curious. I'm curious to see what this offseason provides for Lakers. I know now is the time. The best time to be good is now. So if you're there, don't be like, whoa, there's something to build off of next year. You're still in the fucking playoffs. You still have a shot to, make a title run. Like, do it now. But him in LA with LeBron for a whole nother season, like, because it might be, how many more do you think we get at LeBron? Like, legitimately. He is 40, he'll be 41 next year.
1-2.
Okay.
I know he looks tired right now.
I'm sure he is.
Nuggets clip 2-2, boys.
Yeah, the one-tied series.
God, this is like the last
Just
game,
watch out
2
for
games
Jokic,
ago.
dude.
Kawhi Leonard. Why don't we see? It's like we see it like here and there. It's just like, come
and
on.
when
man.
he's on,
it's
when
so
he's,
good.
he is amazing. He
So good.
He used to be talked about as like a potential top 3 of the era, given that he played both sides. He could score 25 to 30 a night easy, grab you boards, assists, and he played great fucking defense.
Yeah.
And knees, load management. And I rewatched that Kevin Hart making fun of him where he's like, I don't even know where you're at. The Kawhi laugh, dude, that buried him too. He was never the same. Well, he won a chip that year, to be fair.
He had the shot over Embiid.
Right, and in the Eastern Conference, to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, it clanged around. Yeah, I remember that.
I think his body just fails him. Like
His
he can't
knee,
be consistent
degenerative
with
knee
it.
issue. Yeah.
And our guy Joker, man, that guy's so fun to watch play basketball.
He is. He's fantastic. To put it, straightforward.
He's got to be the number 1 player right now, right?
Yeah, because if Shea wasn't just going absolutely bonkers, he would have 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 MVP.
He should be. Well, he shouldn't have lost.
He's got
lead.
2.
He's got 2.
So then it could have been. It could have been 4 for 4. Is what you're saying?
4 for 4.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, there it is.
It's 4 for 4.
That consistency. So he's either been MVP or second in voting for 4 years.
And I agree
that's the best player in the game.
I think we missed this last pod. Do you guys? Who do you think should win MVP? Are you guys rooting? I know you're like, is it SGA?
I honestly, no, I still think it's Joker, to be fair. But the reason why he won't is because of what SGA has done with the team around him and the totality of the ones being the 1 seed.
He's a total. He won.
I think
he's
with all
30
those
points
wins
and
that they
stuff.
had.
They're gonna give it to SGA.
Trev, you?
Yeah, SGA with the wins that the Thunder had this year, just putting them out that far in front.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
I have a hard time with both because I love both, but I want to give a slight edge SGA, even though this is Joker's best season.
How crazy is that?
How
crazy is that?
SGA had an amazing year.
Yeah.
Because he won. He's first.
And do you
in
think
points.
there's Joker fatigue? Do you think that plays in?
I don't know. I love Joker. I like watching him play the game. I just think SGA's year was, and they won by, the point differential that the team won, the whole deal.
Exactly. Well, it's the package.
It was a point
it's because
differential. It was how many games ahead you were than everybody else in a loaded West.
I remember the night me and Charlie looked at that and I went, "Fucking 11!"
Yeah, dude. And that was
my wife was like, "What?"
That was
sorry.
That was still with 20 games left
Yeah.
too. It was just what are we doing? You guys.
Clippers Nuggets been a good series. We knew it was probably going to be though. That does come down to that's going to be a 7-gamer. I think a lot of these might end up going 7. Other than the Cavs, I don't know. Pacers Bucks. We'll see what happens today. That could go 7 depending on.
What's the prognostication on Himmy?
We
need playoff buckets back, bro. How's his hip?
He went questionable.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
we're not sure.
Oh wow!
It's kind of a wait
there's
and
no
see.
prognosis. Oh shit!
The X-rays cleared him, but how long it takes him to recover?
He's got to be able to feel like he can fucking play.
Kuminga just got back too because he was a bit banged up, and that helped a little bit.
Is Kerr gonna work him back into the lineup? Because I know towards the end of the regular season,
He's been
even when he was healthy.
Butler out, yeah.
Okay. Well.
So yeah, it's a lot of other pieces getting.
Well, hey, it's nice. It's nice having that game up right now, right? So he's got another one he can recover. Yeah,
kind of needed it because you can't count on that on the road without him out there.
I would agree with that.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. I feel like this series.
So, and the NFL draft happened. I don't know if anybody knows.
What? Really?
Yeah,
it was the greatest weekend. I saw a couple of things.
So we're gonna go through teams right now. We're just gonna go in alphabetical order because that's the way that it's on ESPN, and that's the easy way to go through it. So we're just gonna go through it that way. We'll start with the Cardinals. We're just gonna we're gonna look through is talk about one or two picks, kind of look at the whole thing. We're not giving A's, B's, and C's. We're gonna give it like an up, a double down, mediocre kind of sign. You know how we do thumbs.
You know how we do.
Cardinals start off, get Walter Nolan. Some say the second best D tackle. I thought that was a good pick. Will Johnson going that far back. I guess it all depends if the knee shit's real.
Sure.
The fall was because of knee issues is what came out like late that day. So if his knee's good, that's a steal. That's a fucking steal. Jordan Birch, edge. You're feeling need there. Cody Simon. Denzel Burke, a lot of need as you're going. And my Nevada guy, Kenton Crawford, though, got drafted by the Cardinals.
That's cool. What up, Nevada?
Overall, I think they did a good job. I think they filled a whole lot of positions, and they went a whole lot of fucking defense.
I got to give them a thumbs up. I think overall where they swung for the picks that they had and the potential, that's an A draft.
Yeah, their only offensive player they drafted was in the 6th round at guard.
Well, and I think the draft depends on what Will Johnson and Birch do. I think Nolan and Simon will be good.
Yeah.
Denzel will probably rotate in. But if Birch doesn't play good and Will Johnson doesn't ever become the dude we thought, then that draft, it's good right here on paper, but it could be real bad.
Next up, the Atlanta Falcons, the hot Atlanta Falcons. They only had 5 picks. They didn't do a lot of movement except for
the huge fucking trade where they gave up a number 1 to go up and get Pierce.
Next year. Yeah.
I love the Jalen Walker pick. I'll just start here. Love the Jalen Walker pick, whether he plays linebacker or edge for them, whatever he does. He's a straight leader. I think that's good for that defense. The Pierce pick is where all the talk is going to come in. If he does not play well,
he's got to develop.
Gave up another one to get him in a draft that's supposed to be better than this draft. He has to average double-digit sacks.
Well, I mean, okay, but see, here's the thing, though, is like if his first year is even moderately productive, you got to call it a win because you're not expecting him to peak as a rookie.
But then, you got to start putting those. You have to start. He has to have Traylon Walker.
Yeah, but you're not going to know the outcome of the total, who won it for at least a couple of years,
that's what I'm
right?
You have to have Travion Walker type numbers where you go up every year.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has the size and the speed, dude. He's so athletic.
He's just got to lock in and get it done. Well, the Falcons, I respect it because for
it's
15 years they haven't had a double-digit sack leader.
Yeah, I think John Abrams was the last D end I remember.
I don't think I had a beard. I don't think I had a beard the last time they had a good D line. He was born with
favorite
Xavier
pick.
Watts,
Xavier.
That was a third.
That's my favorite pick. They got 2 of my favorite players,
which is why overall I do give it once again this because they did swing at least for the right need.
Yeah, I didn't award the Cardinals. I do the same.
I can get that. I can get that.
I gave a thumbs up. I was more thumbs up on the Cardinals. The giving up the 1 for Pierce
makes it a medium
because of the fact that also you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks.
Right.
Yeah. So you make most of what you got.
I get that, but I think that made. I think that they're saying outside of that, we got Penix, we got a relatively decent offensive line, we got Bijan, we got Drake. We're ready to fucking go.
And I love Walker and I love Watts.
Can somebody throw Kyle Pitts the ball, please?
Maybe he's not that good.
You don't. Come on, brother. You don't.
I mean,
I don't know.
This should be Penix's year. This is his year to show what he's got.
Loved tight ends, dude. He can sling that rock. It sucks that the Seahawks and Atlanta are both in the NFC because I do like the Dirty Birds. They're a fun team.
We talked kind of off pod about why do we keep letting the rich get richer, and then we do it again with the Ravens.
God.
Malachi Stark's killer. You're gonna have 2 potential All-Pro safeties. Mike Green, off the field issues is the only thing that
I had
hadn't
him
fallen as
marked
far.
10 to
Well,
Chicago.
we all had him in the first round. Everybody
Right.
in the first round.
Well,
Dude,
yeah,
he falls to
projects
27 in the
as
second round.
Possibly the second or third best
Correct.
defensive end, but because of the issues.
Real
it's just here.
sidebar here. You ready? It's within the draft. Is this year said a lot to me in a lot of things with injury awareness and legal awareness
And leaders. I thought leaders.
They made sure that they made examples out of people who had off the field issues or whatever, or like those that they didn't trust physically fell a lot. Like Jalen Carter still went 9th overall when he was on the hook for inciting a race that killed somebody.
A lot of leaders too.
God,
When
he's
you
good,
listen
too.
to people
I hate
talk
that.
like, he was a captain of it. Like captains went before. Like a
Tyler
lot of
Shuck went 40th overall. We'll get to the Saints
a
obviously
lot of
eventually, but
a lot of you're drafting good humans too in this. Like you took some people because of your.
But overall, man, you get some
Well, then
line
you
work,
get
some
Emory,
linebackers.
you go Emory Jones. You get Emory
They got
Jones.
everything. They
Yeah.
went in there and they poked a little bit of everything. A little offensive line, a little defensive line. The Malachi Starks pick is brilliant.
They did trade to get a kicker
Sure. Cover
Because of the
CYA,
top
baby.
6 rounds.
CYA.
because of the Tucker stuff.
Of course. Cover your ass.
But I think looking at their draft, getting Peoples, the Virginia Tech
Yeah.
D tackle in the 6th round, I think that's a value pick right there.
It
I
is.
don't disagree.
I mean, they did a lot of good again, which that's what they kind of do. Next team is Buffalo.
Up or
I give them because of
They
the
had
first
5-6 round picks.
because of the first 2 picks. I give them a plus because I think they're getting guys.
I still go questionable because of the offseason's off field issues. If that can come back and burn them hard.
Charlie
Green?
Yeah, Charlie, you up or down on the Ravens draft?
For the Starks alone, dude,
Starks.
that
I mean,
guy,
that's so value
it's
right there.
it's so easy.
And
that
so
one,
Baltimore.
That one, right? Exactly. That's like the run the card up pick when they say like you better be sprinting to the podium with that one.
This next one's another home run. I'm
Hey,
probably gonna give this team 2 thumbs up.
Best viral moment of the draft was watching Hairston. He was the last exiting body, so he was dapping everybody up, and everybody that he dapped up waited for him to get drafted at 30th. So before he left, he hit everybody on his way out. That's showmanship, you guys. Like that's the reason why Shador got drafted 144th. Dude, he knew he was going to fall. That's why he didn't accept the draft invite. He fucking knew. They knew. They told him, you ain't getting drafted.
We'll get
Not-
into that, Charlie. Max O'Hara.
We'll get there.
I think they killed it. Max
Let's
O'Harrison
not take
corner.
away from the Buffalo shine.
TJ Sanders. He's a huge. He's
The
a huge
Landon
lineman.
Jackson in the third
That's
round is
killer.
insane right there.
And then you get Deon
Delane
Walker. Deon Walker in another defense tackle is really good. And then you go get 2 cornerbacks. You just add depth wise. I like the Dorian Strong pick.
Way in the 6th.
The cornerbacks fell a lot too. That's another observation.
Which is why when we get into the Seahawks fandom is a little crazy. I felt like
Me
we
too.
didn't take one. We normally fly her. Anyway, all right. Buffalo.
I'm giving it double thumbs up
It's
because
definitely a win. Maybe
I've given
even a
everybody.
double.
I've given everybody an up. I got to be more impartial.
That's
here.
my first up right there.
Trev's been a
I'm
Trev's-
4 for 4
I'm
ups.
this
dude.
time in Cal this panel right now.
Carolina up next.
North Carolina, come on and raise.
Trev called the Tep pick.
That is
throwing
true.
darts.
But that would have been my second player. Second player to
I
them
just don't
only
know
was
if I
Walker Tep.
agree with that pick per se. All right, so this is
I
gonna,
do.
Okay.
I think he's that receiver.
I
and he-
do
and he
like the
fits.
double edge in
And
the
they
second
get-
and third round,
and
and
get-
then ETN in the 4th right there.
Well, getting Princely, I think in the 3rd round's huge.
No, I think that the
And then
back end of
and
their
then
draft.
getting Jimmy Horn in the 6th round.
Yeah,
He
I
just
don't
gives them an
disagree with that.
he's explosive. He is explosive receiver.
but because of I'm there leaning on there.
I'm giving it up because I was a big Tep
I
fan. I was a
disagree with the
T-back.
Tep
I was a
McMillan
big Tep
pick.
McMillan fan. I dropped him lower because of his stupid Instagram where he said he didn't watch tape. But you're getting Nick and Princely back-to-back edges. You've automatically just made your defense line that much better.
Yes, you need that defensive line help, and then that McMillan help. Yes, if he is a good player, that just makes such a huge difference for that team.
With Etienne and Horn Jr., I think you really did add a lot.
Give the shortest quarterback the tallest receiver. It does make sense.
I'm throwing him this because they're Carolina.
Damn,
Yeah, I understand. There's a rivalry there, bro. There was like 8 years in a row where Cam Newton was quarterback that the Seahawks played Carolina. Like, it was insane. And like 6 of them were in Carolina.
Trev's not giving any pluses.
Trev's a hater, but
I give the Bills a plus.
Bears up next. Colson
today,
Loveland first, offensive player. Luther Burden, wide receiver, which is kind of I thought that was a weird pick with other needs. And then you go offensive tackle, defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback. That's probably my favorite pick late in the round for them. Zach Frazier, and then offensive tackle and running back. So you went and got a lot of things you needed. I thought running back would have been a higher priority.
Yeah.
Instead of Luther Burden, I thought there was some backs on the board there, and I know Travion went one pick before.
Yeah, they got moved in front of for that.
But
I mean,
the Luther Burden pick's one of those ones where like he could be a stud, but it's.
I don't know, man, because they still have Roshan Johnson that I think that if he can get right, he can play. Between him and Swift, it's not like they're devoid of talent at running back.
yeah, and the guy that they got in the 7th round is a banger at
Yeah,
Rutgers.
he's a banger.
Like short yardage, he's got it for you.
All right.
I'm here.
I gotta be there just because I'm not the double tight end. I get it in the movement from Detroit to Chicago with Ben Johnson. He loves his tight ends, and Loveland is supposed to be the purest pass catching tight end we've seen in a long time. So.
He ain't Brock Bowers, so we don't have to worry about that.
Ooh, that's true. Rookie record. I gotta figure. Put some respect on it. I got 2 out of 3 on the panel wearing Raiders hats.
Yep. and we got Rookie of the Year again this year.
And we're gonna find out who that is. Yeah, cue that up.
The Bengals obviously
The
get one of the
Bungles.
most talented DNs on the board with Shamar Stewart.
Potential though, right? As far
all
as like,
potential.
it's all eye
the
test.
the
but-
linebacker Knight Jr. That kid's
Good
pretty
pick.
that good. That's a great pick. I really wanted him.
And then
Fairchild. So you had 3 potential starters.
guard,
straight
running
up.
back, and a linebacker.
And Taj
in there.
Brooks is a good back.
Beautiful.
Taj
Yeah.
Brooks is back.
Actually, yeah, the top, all those picks are going to see playing time. I
Correct.
think even Rivers is a swing
But
for that team.
This is another team that I look at this draft and I say, where are the safeties and where are the cornerbacks? They did nothing to reinvest in that back
And that's
end.
what I'm only
And
going
that's
here.
been absolute trash.
And I'm only going here because of that.
I
Because think the players they got are good. but
Right.
You didn't address
at
even the
all. They
cornerback.
didn't touch their backfield
And
at
the
all.
cornerback thing, I was like, dude, when are you taking corner? And
Not
they
one.
never
Or a
did.
safety. They didn't take a single back. They didn't take a single backer.
Yeah, really. I mean, they didn't have a lot of picks, so maybe those
I
are just the
understand the way it
best.
fell. I know.
how it fell.
Got to maximize
I don't
what you
know,
do.
But
man.
I still think I would have traded back at least even just to get that extra pick
for
or
that
to get that
for that
defensive
reason,
back.
and especially because Shamar Stewart is unproven, I have to give it a down.
I still give it.
I'm giving it a down.
Give him the side eye.
All right.
Oh, we got some things to talk about here. This
LeBron, where are you at?
what is this?
That's a great way to put it.
The
What is
first
this?
4 picks, absolute home runs.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
What they did to
I
trade
love the
back and
first
get
4
Mason
picks,
Graham
I was just about to say.
to add
I
another
wish
pick
I had
in
those
where
first
you
4
get
picks.
Judkins and Schlesinger in the fucking second round. That's huge. The Fanning Jr. pick.
I love that pick. I love that pick because
I wanted
Njoku
him.
is always fucking hurt.
And then I love the running back in the
No,
4th
and then-
round. Dylan Sampson in running back 4th.
Yeah, that's not a bad
No,
pick either.
that's
Love
It's
that
the
value.
quarterback
That's
picks.
the value.
How in the fuck?
Wait,
okay,
they picked
first,
quarterbacks? The Browns picked
First,
how many quarterbacks did they pick?
Shadur Sanders went from what everybody had mocked in the 1st round to the 5th round. I can understand falling to the 2nd. I can understand maybe going behind Shuck and Dart. And maybe even Milrow because of the upside of Milrow. There is not 1 fucking percent of me that ever thinks that Dylan Gabriel is a better quarterback than Shadur Sanders. There is not 1% of me that could even make that argument. For one, I know maybe I was a little fucking high on Shadur and maybe being stubborn in my keeping him at 1 and not putting him over Cam Ward. Or Cam Ward over him. But there is not 1 fucking ounce of me that doesn't think that he is way better than Dylan and not a 5th round quarterback. It should have been a 2nd. There was something that either went down where GMs maybe were talking across the league. For him to fall that far feels very, very conspiracy-esque.
Yeah, it just the rumor was that he interviewed bad. That nobody liked.
I don't think that was a rumor. I think that was the report. He interviewed bad.
But watching that tape, there is nothing that tells me that
you fall back on the tape. I don't care. I mean, interviews, yes, that might drop you around. But this far, are you not watching the tape?
And why in the fuck did you take Dylan Gabriel and then take him?
That's the head scratcher.
Dylan Gabriel
because that's
is
just
the biggest.
It's just a wasted pick. Well, simply because you still have other quarterbacks on the roster. You just traded for Kenny Pickett
and you
signed Flacco.
Well, fuck, that doesn't fucking matter.
No, but it does as far as compensation.
In team building, I don't disagree with drafting 2 quarterbacks because you need that position.
But
for
not
Cleveland.
Dylan fucking Gabriel.
It does. Well, not just Dylan Gabriel. Sorry, Gabriel, but
you could have flipped the picks
here,
right?
Correct. At the 3rd round, it seems like that was way out of value,
way high.
You they must really like him. And coming into the draft, he's projected to be a backup at best.
He's projected. Yeah, I would have think he would have went in 7th round. He went in the 3rd round.
You know who did go in the fucking 7th round?
Quinn. And to a perfect spot.
Miami.
To a perfect spot for him.
That's true. Too. That's true. Because he's gonna have to play.
I want to give.
sorry, Tua.
I want to give them an A for every pick, other than how the Gabriel Shador thing went down. But because they went Gabriel over Shador, I give them this because I can't give them a thumbs down because of the Graham, Schlesinger, Judkins,
those 4 first picks
and
are
Dylan
fire.
Sampson.
It's a wasted fucking pick. I have to put it like
because
this. I have to put it like that.
It's such a left turn, from what they're doing. You hit.
Right,
and
right. Stay the course.
Why
stay the fucking course?
You could have went a couple other quarterbacks, and I'd been like, okay. If you went Colin McCord, I'd be like, okay. If you'd went somebody else, I probably would have been like, okay. Even the kid that we took, the FCS North Dakota kid, I would have been like, okay. Dylan Gabriel is not a starting quarterback in the NFL, and a 3rd rounder. You were projecting him to almost be a starter at the 3rd round at some point. A 3rd rounder, you're like, oh, that's like a 2-3 year sit maybe. That's not throwing a dart.
It's still hope. It's a shorter dart throw, but it is a dart throw nonetheless.
Right, but it's not a dart throw that Dylan Gabriel's a dart throw. The dude, we watched how much Ohio State dominated him.
He doesn't. This is going to come from a guy who isn't much bigger than him by any means, but he doesn't have an NFL body.
Did you see the picture of him standing next to Bo Nix and Justin Herbert?
Does he just get dwarfed?
And Bo Nix is 6'2",
yeah,
and
Bo
he
Nix
looks but
big.
It's not even just like
no,
height.
that's exactly it. He's got his frame. He's only like 188 pounds, 190 pounds.
I'm sorry, Dylan. I don't mean to be hating on you like this, but the
Shador
stuff
GM, the GM Downey is coming out. It's not a personal attack. We don't dislike you as a human.
Yeah, in a way.
Jesus, sounds terrible.
It does. Fine. I tried to.
I know it's okay. We all know what we mean. So okay, we all go. I go down because I can't.
I couldn't.
First 4 picks are too good to go down.
That's all right.
And the Dylan Sampson picks a home run too.
I do agree.
Yeah, I like that.
So
later.
I can't go down.
All right,
I just
Delas.
Oh, they killed it.
They did.
People were kind of, you can't
that take Jaden Blue pick was just like, how fucking perfect is that?
It's not
you don't have to move, and that's just, there he is.
It's not even the Jaden Blue pick. I know people say you reached on Booker. You got a mauler of a guard. When you won, what'd you have? The best offensive line.
Absolutely.
Booker is going to start in this league for
they
12
didn't win much,
years.
But when they were winning,
I think Cornelius, who they drafted in the 6th, could be their starting right tackle.
Dude, and then you go Donovan, Zikuare, the edge. He was projected to be a first rounder. Now you have a starting edge to go along with your other guy.
Dude, that value pick.
Siobhan Ravel, 6'2". He goes in the 3rd round. Now you have another starting corner. Jaden Blue, starting running back. Shermer James might start linebacker. Your first 4 picks are killer. And I do think that even the Phil running back pick, Phil
weird.
Mafia from Clemson, he's a pounder. So now you get another running back in the. You have.
It was good to get 2 running backs. I liked the positions they chose.
Weak. All right.
The one position they didn't go with that I kind of was wondering was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
All right. Denver.
The
Jade pick is incredible.
They killed it too. It's not even just the reason RJ Harvey picked. You have another explosive running back. Pat Bryant out of Illinois gives you just that other weapon on the outside. Savion Jones, it's probably a rotational for first 1 year, 2 year maybe, but he has the talent and the size to be something like explosive. I think they did a really good job too. I was surprised they went tight end so late. I would have thought maybe tight end
Would've been-
earlier.
yeah.
Well, there was a run, so if you there was like if you
Mason,
miss it,
Taylor,
then you
Arroyo.
exactly. It kind of started right there at the middle of the second round, and then it ran for a bit. Like
And the one thing too they didn't get was a defense tackle in a draft with defensive tackles.
we're
Yeah,
everywhere. That is
that's-
very true. That's notable. But 2 edges, so clearly they're saying they need more pass rush. Like their interior, they're saying their line
They
is a
value
little bit
more
more
than
ready.
the interior.
It's a little bit more ready.
I'm going here. I like a lot what they did, but the acquisition of no defensive tackle is really weird.
Yeah, I agree. I love the first 2
And
picks.
a punter.
First 3 picks.
First 3 picks I like. After that, it's kind of I understand back-to-back edges, but I think defensive tackle would have been better there, especially at the Alabama edge.
Just they're in again. There's a draft. Get that position if it's a position of need.
100%. This next draft,
Lions. It left a little bit on the table. I feel right.
I'm thumbs down.
I'm underwhelmed.
Instantly thumbs
I'm
down
underwhelmed.
because Tyreek Williams isn't a better tackle than some of the ones that he went after. I don't know if that's all potential. Only pick I like is the Tate Ratledge offensive guard
guy. I
pick.
was hoping he'd go.
That's going to
to
help them
Other
because
than
they are
that-
kind of getting older at guard.
You got Edge way down in the 6th.
I
The
don't
Boise
know.
State kid, which I kind of like. Other than that, I'm not huge on your.
I'm up on the Arkansas wide receiver.
Yeah, that
Big
kid
body,
can play.
fast kid.
Yeah, that kid can play.
Like in the 3rd
Isaac.
round, like I give
Teslas.
you.
I'm down on this draft.
I don't like if you miss your
Kudos.
first round.
Oh,
If
I'm
you
the-
miss
I'm
if
the
you
guy
miss
that
your
likes
first
it.
round pick, I have a hard time giving you even a medium.
That's true, man. Plug it.
That it's
Trev has only given a couple of pluses, dude. The guy is ruthless.
Hey man,
Hey, we,
rigid.
We
Ruthless
need
is a good
to finish these beers, and
yeah.
and maybe after the droid pick, we're gonna pause and come back for a second because we're almost like how far are we? We almost
I'm
halfway
ready for
through
another
this.
beer, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta, because otherwise we're not gonna get to all the brewskis. We're gonna be done with the draft. We rolling.
We got
Let's
some
go
more
to let's
beers
go.
to drink.
Yeah, we got.
We get to the hometown team.
Yeah,
coming
no.
up.
When we get to us, you
Yeah,
don't
let's
think
do
you're
good.
gonna fucking spend an hour and a half fucking talking about the Raiders?
Probably not.
All right, we are recording. All right, so do we just want to launch? All right, let's launch into Green Bay, and then we'll cut to the
beer?
cheers. Okay, yeah. So,
Um,
well, hold on.
Oh, keep it. You tell me launch in, I'm launching, brother.
No, I understand, but Middletown, New York, 11%. Nice equilibrium. All right, let's go. All wise. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Smoke machine. 1, 2.
Green Bay, it's a kind of a weird draft, I think. Honestly, you get 2 wide receivers, Golden, which I like a lot, but it doesn't seem like it fits. Savion Williams more of a weapon than a wide receiver.
I just don't.
My favorite pick is kind of the linebacker from Oklahoma State. If he can stay healthy, I just don't really love the team building.
This was not the year to take the wide receiver at 22?
23.
23.
My favorite pick of theirs is probably their second pick in Belton, like guy that could turn into a tackle.
Yeah, and they took what's his name last year too. Kid from Arizona, right?
Oh yeah.
They took him last year. So I mean, they are working on the fronts.
Well,
it's just the golden fit doesn't really fit, honestly. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they just want burners, but I feel like it's just not the one that they need. Or
So
like he's not like a one. I don't know.
No, I get it. It just feels a little off. How hard do you hit him for that though? Check.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm like,
Sorry.
yeah,
No.
I gotta. Yeah,
No.
I don't like to fit it. Number one,
I'd be good.
It's very weird that you swing for another wide receiver, you know, in the 3rd round. I know Savion, like you said, is an athlete and can definitely be something, but that's just weird given what else you need on that
Correct.
team.
And there was other receivers available in the 3rd round. I know he's like all athlete, but maybe you didn't need all athlete. You needed more receiver.
I mean,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the second and fourth round pick make more sense.
They invested in this draft backwards, if you ask me, in the sense of if you look at their lower position picks, that makes more sense for what they needed than the top of their draft position wise. I felt like he could have flipped those, gone for the corners, the OTs, and the DTs earlier, and then done the wide receivers later.
What edge was still on the board there at 1 that you could have got that could have been a game changer? They're probably, the golden pick just doesn't fit. I like the player. I don't like the fit.
Agreed.
Honestly.
No, yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, I'm not. The kid is talented. He's silky smooth and he's fast as fucking all get out.
Before
he's a good fucking.
Go into the next team that probably gets an A or a thumbs up. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
About to drink some fucking Motor Royal.
Oh, dude.
I can already smell it.
Yeah.
I already smelled it.
Wow, it's like drinking chocolate milk. It has that consistency.
Dude, it is so thick.
Oh my god, it is syrupy, yo.
It is so thick.
It's gonna take a while to drink this little beer.
No, it's gonna go, dude. You don't get that peanut butter right there.
I do get that peanut butter.
Oh my god,
it tastes good. It's just super thick.
All right, so
it's got a lot of good
Equilibrium
flavor.
Brewing. All right, these guys are out of Middleton, New York, and this is an 11%. It's an imperial stout, all wise.
There's no way I drink this by myself.
That is too much.
Not
that is too much.
It is thick, thick. It's good. A lot of flavor, but it is thick. Like the consistency of it.
Yeah, water this down.
It's
a bit
milkshakey.
for me.
Look at it. You can't. It holds. There's lips to this beer. It holds like a fucking tequila. Just wait. Look at that. No, I practice devoutly the idea of setting your dark beers out before you open it. So it sat all that first opening. So about 45 minutes it sat. So that's going to change the consistency as well. But if it was super cold, think about this, but cold.
It wouldn't help you. No.
Not at all. It is thick, boy. I like it. Peanut butter. The lactose is what gives it that.
Yeah, no, it's.
I need like a chaser to like wash down like the thickness, like a clean
thickness,
like a clean palate, like a
that
clean palate
motor oil drip. Dude.
Yeah, no. When the first pour I saw, I was like, whoa. The bottom of the bottle is just like drip, drip, drip.
Let's jump into the Houston Texans, who traded out of the first round to get an extra second round pick, but they killed
the
it.
capital they had. They absolutely murdered it from there on out, for sure.
I love the Jaden Higgins pick. I love that pick. I love that you went and got his teammate in the third round. So now you have two receivers that play.
Well.
Dude, and it's I don't know how much we talk about. We talk about this so much on the pod. Team building. Now you have the big receiver. Nolan's a fast receiver. You literally have just built your wide receiver core with those two picks.
Too, by the way.
Yeah, and with the injuries that you've had at that position, getting that insurance, getting those players, along with Ursi.
Dude, Ursi is. I know me and you both are big fans. I think both our teams wanted. I
think he was the best tackle out of that. Wasn't in the first round, easily.
Yep, 100%, 100%. He could have even gone the first round, depending on if you liked him or not. I know both of us kind of were like, ooh, he's still there on the board. Are we going to draft him? And then you go cornerback, running back. Woody Mark's a great back. The Jalen Reed pick at safety is good. And then you go get Mertz. I like Mertz backing up. CJ. He's,
Well, in Marks, man, I think he's a good piece for that offense. Giving you someone to throw it out of the backfield. CJ Stroud should be able to throw.
But him and what's his name too are going because they still have the dude from Mixon.
Oh
him and Mixon are a nice 1-2 punch, man. If you
good
can,
combo.
I really think Houston did a great job, Charlie.
Yeah, no, speaking of running backs, it always blows my mind when I see a committee where I swear I'm like 4 of those guys can make motion and you play one of them, right? That breaks my heart when I see a running back stable like that. Although I do love a good, iron horse, but the way that they were able to maneuver and trade out, get more, and then come back and address needs. The only thing I don't see on here would have been, linebacker potentially because,
or maybe interior.
D'Amico Ryans obviously didn't see anything that, he is a linebacker, so he clearly didn't see anything that he liked.
But even the last pick that they had, the tight end out of Iowa, that's not a bad pick.
No. Dude, the lineage of Iowa tight ends will be just fine. I mean,
Yeah, all about it.
Thumbs up.
I gave a thumbs up too.
Thumbs up.
Next team, Indianapolis Colts. Love the first pick. I think he is the man.
Let them fall. And I love their second pick.
I love the second pick. Dude, the Giddens pick in the 5th round. Dude, Riley Leonard, does he start for this fucking team? That's what I was giggling about.
That's what you're giggling about.
Seriously.
Hey,
It's a competition between all 3 quarterbacks there.
Seriously.
For real.
They all,
I think
all can run and can't throw. All 3 of them can run and can't throw.
I think you...
They're going to play a little differently this season.
Without a doubt, will I say that he will push Daniel Jones for the backup.
He's good. He's going to
I don't know. AR, they're still... I don't know if they want to swallow that defeat, and that is one of my most thankful things.
Swallow that defeat.
Well, because...
Charlie wanted bad.
No, it was the other way around. I was very thankful that he wasn't there. I think we would have taken him, and then that's the experiment we would have been gotten.
But the DJ Giddens pick
seems like heavy run with...
Seriously, though, you have 3
like,
quarterbacks that
Hurts,
are the exact same.
More than similar to Eagles' offense with Hurts running, but even more.
I do think it says that like we don't know
Riley Leonard,
quarterback is.
Riley Leonard and Daniel Jones are more accurate. Anthony Richardson's more electric.
Yeah.
At this point in their careers, Riley Leonard isn't like super accurate, but he's getting there. He's right there, probably with Daniel Jones. I don't know, dude. It's crazy. He has a chance to start.
Well, he might be if they're going to go running quarterback, he might actually be the best.
Does he end up being the Russell Wilson of that team?
I mean, I think given what the cost would be for him versus Jones, maybe you keep the Rook, right? And
well,
then
sure.
you say,
6 rounds.
Kicking on down the road there, Jones Seals.
DJ Giddens, too. That's a good pick, dude. He's a banger.
No, overall, this is to have Tyler Warren, who was rated on a lot of people's big boards somewhere between 3 to 5th overall, to go 14th.
He's in my top 10 for sure.
Legit.
I like Jalen Travis in the 4th round, too, that tackle out of Iowa State. I don't think that's bad value there.
No, I don't think any of the moves that they made were necessarily bad.
Get him, Riley. You and TJ Warren.
I mean, I can't look at
Trev.
I can't look at bad.
Trev
I don't see
get
anything bad. Tyler Warren falling to 14 and them actually making the pick too.
I thought he'd be there. I think that's what I had them taken. In fact,
Jacksonville,
3 for 3 there.
Jacksonville. That's where I had him going too. That was my 3-pointer as well, brother.
Jacksonville, I think, did a good job. Other than maybe.
What do you think of that first trade? Right? The draft started hot, dude. First,
you
1.1. We knew Cam Ward, right? And then it immediately we sat right over there and just lost our proverbial minds for a minute and a half after they announced the trade.
Well, I think he's a starting receiver that's going to start next to Thomas. So now you have 2 potential really, really elite receivers, right? Look what Brian Thomas did last year. You're getting Leland Cohen's offense. Then you go get your cornerback, your 2nd round. You go get another guard that's going to help. Then you get one of the most explosive running backs in the 4th round. And then your 7th round, LaQuint Allenbick, is just as big. So you now have – I know you still have ETN, but he gets hurt. And then the other guy – who's the other guy they have back on that line? Tank Bigsby. So your line –
good.
And then I do like the Jack. I don't know how much I like the back-to-back linebacker picks, and then you get Moham in the 7th.
Back-to-back linebacker.
7th round center though too. We like him.
Well, USC boy.
Well, he could have went higher. He had the short arms thing that pushed him.
I like the value of Bashal Tootin in the 4th, at the top of the 4th, right there.
Dude,
the Jack
so
Kaiser
electric.
does make a whole lot of sense. Like you said, getting a center and a running back on a flyer in the 7th round is never a bad thing.
And one center that most people had is their
but
second.
the
or
way
third
that they
center.
drafted with having Ransaw out of Tulane in their 2nd round, I think that kind of says that Hunter is going to play more wide receiver.
That's what
they
already
reinvested.
That's what they already came out and said.
Oh, there it is.
More wide receiver, work him in at corner.
And I like that. Obviously, Hunter, I think. Easily, it's just
and to
such
be
a
fair,
money pick. Making that trade, I think, could be good for them.
Travis Hunter will also appreciate that more when it comes time to renegotiate because the
Get that
wide
more
receiver
money.
tag will always be more than the cornerback
More
tag.
cash money.
Even though I arguably would say cornerback is by far the harder position to play. Not that catching and body control and speed and route running isn't fucking respectable, but imagine having to do that backwards while trying to guard a guy.
Well, yeah, most of those guys don't catch as well, though.
I'm giving him a straight across.
Sure.
Yep, same. How you like it, Chuck?
I'm more straight across than I am up, but I'm like right there-ish. Like a little tilt.
Next team is the Kansas City
Chefs, the Chiefs,
Yeah,
the
Chiefs.
cheaters. Andy Reid
I
is
like
just
the Royals
fucking-
pick
Andy
in the
Reid and Patrick
4th
Mahomes
round.
are just good.
The Bradshaw Smith pick in the 7th round is a nice pick.
They just kind of sticked and picked in a lot of places here. They didn't make a lot of, they did trade in
If Josh
the first
Simmons
round,
is
but only
healthy
one
and ends
pick.
up being a 10-year, 12-year player and a all-pro plus a Pro Bowler, that's what you're kind of riding that on your offensive tackle.
No, going out.
Yeah, it's the swing and miss kind of. It's either going to be a home run or it's in a burn and
Right.
they're going down.
Because
Okay, all right, but on a tackle, I mean, sure, right?
Because he could have, if he would have finished out, not gotten hurt, he might have been.
It
the
sucks
first or
when you're
second-
wrong, but when you're right,
He could have been the first or second tackle coming off the board.
sure.
When
Will
does
Johnson,
his,
we already touched on him earlier, dude.
what is his comeback time? Is he even able to make beginning season? Because he
Honestly,
tore
don't know.
it.
Yeah, actually, I haven't
October?
seen that, so I don't know what his timetable is.
Good
So that's I don't know.
I
have to
would
go,
assume he's not going to be ready for the start, but like
I have
he could be some piece
At
that they
best,
check
I'm
out
right
later
there.
in the year.
I'm still.
if Josh Simmons hits, it's a home run because
Yeah,
he's
I'm close to doing this if Simmons hits. I don't want to bet against his health, but
I'm across the board.
I can
because
bet
of that.
against the Chiefs a little bit.
Say nah.
Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs. Fucking Chargers.
I'm gonna put their whole
Assholes.
team on the shit list.
Chargers go get a Marion Hampton. Amazing pick. Trey Harris.
Yeah, boy.
Amazing pick.
Don't go and get him. He falls to him.
Yeah, falls.
Like that's. Hey,
And-
hey there, sir. Who can run in this offense
Trey
perfectly?
Harris.
I'm letting everybody know already.
Let him know, Trev. Let him know.
Kyle Kennard.
I like this draft. I like this draft a lot.
Yeah, the Mickens kid in the 6th round. I like it a lot, especially because the first 2 picks have a chance to be absolute.
And everything I felt like they were weak at
And
last
the
year,
fourth.
they addressed.
But yeah, Kennard.
Kennard in the 4th.
I mean, Caldwell in the 3rd.
Yeah.
Even Gatson, like, he could be a weapon at that tight end position.
Dude, Amarian Hampton and Najee Harris could fucking do some shit behind that offense.
Ooh,
If
they got-
Rashawn Slater
dude.
comes back healthy with
That's-
Joe Alt.
And you have Trey. Now you team building. You have Trey Harris that goes down the side and Lather. So you
Then you got your boy Air Bear
And
who
you talk
can
about-
fucking sling that dang like
That's my guy. Even though he
Air
played
Bear.
And you just
that dude's a fucking monster when he's kept
of
upright.
Harbaugh's identity and how he wants to play football and getting Hampton, man. It's just
Yeah,
it's
right,
money.
exactly.
It
No,
is
it's
so money.
that is he's building his program again, and he immediately flipped them from a non-playoff team to a playoff team in
Year
year
one.
with hands of stone, Quentin Johnston. So I mean, dropping key 3rd downs, dude. I need to not be so high on that guy.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I Trey Harris is moving on up.
Yeah, Trey Harris killing it.
Second
compared
receiver on that team.
compared to
Yeah, there it
this,
is.
compared
Feels
to
like.
Chuck's fucking fella.
Yeah, I was
Fucking-
non-fella.
Chuck was like, dude, that guy's best receiver in the draft.
I
dude.
thought he was gonna go first. I did that draft. And I'm glad he didn't.
take that hit.
Because
Chuck.
because we got Njigba, my motherfucker, dude, 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good
That
point.
kid's a boss, dude.
The
I'm
Ra-
curious to see how he plays with Coop.
This Rams draft almost is based on what they get picked next year in the 1st round because
It
they
is.
traded
No,
out of
they
the first to get
sacrificed
some-
this year for next year
to have
for
two,
sure.
to have 2 in the 1st. You know,
They want to have the power to manipulate if they can go and get a quarterback they like. Is my guess. Right?
that's
Why not?
that's exactly what it is.
It
Chuck.
has to be
because
Stafford is
Stafford's getting older.
Yeah.
You're going to try to make a pitch to get 2 firsts
'Cause then
to
you
get
can
like
still be
your
good.
Allard or
Yeah,
your
you didn't draft a
Nuttmeyer because
quarterback.
you didn't take one.
Because then you can still be good this year and have 2 firsts, right? So even 2 firsts if they're middle or back of the pack, dude, those you
So
can still
use
package
those
those to move up. Absolutely.
To take an Allard or a Nussmeyer or somebody, yes.
Yeah, or it's no, absolutely. I feel that they understood the long. This is baseball building, as it were,
And they
right
basically
here.
got everything. I do think
Basketball
they did,
building.
I was surprised they didn't take a corner.
Yeah, me too. I like value wise though. I love Chris Paul and
I have
Jr.
to respect
in the 5th.
that, you
That's-
know.
That and then they just filled everything with what they do: tight end, edge.
Edge.
running back. That's a pounder. So he mimics, or he's opposite of who they have now, Williams, right?
Yeah. Kyron Williams.
Yeah. So now you're just the Rams are doing what the Rams do.
I mean, they just drafted Dwight Corum too.
Boo
recently.
Rams, boo,
Yeah.
boo, boo Rams.
And next year they're going to make the move for the quarterback. That's a guarantee.
I like it because
you got the first.
I like it because they understand where they're at as
Correct.
a franchise. It makes sense for me. I don't mind a long-term play if I can see.
Trev, why?
The reason I go
is.
sideways is because you're
It
giving
could go
up another
sideways very
year
quickly.
with Stafford.
Sure.
Like instead of making a push this year with him, feels like you're sitting on
Best
the
time to
sidelines.
be great is now.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
get it.
saying.
I like it, Trev.
I'm not angry at it.
The next team, Miami Dolphins.
We're gonna skip. I was gonna say.
This is the most. This is one of the picks in the first round that kind of blew me away.
I mean,
He was a first round talent,
and it was a position of need.
but it seems a little high. It seems like they could have used. I thought Barron was
you're right
gonna
over
go
there,
here.
Zach.
That was
Give me an
tough.
honest review.
That was tough.
Barron, or they could have went one of the two safeties.
Well, that's why I thought
Starks
Barron
and Murray were right there for them, dude.
Yep, one of those safeties.
To pair one of those with Holland, you now have an elite two-back field.
Starks would have been nasty.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying with Barron, though. Is I feel like
And
he
Barron-
fits because he could have played that safety.
And then you're also
nickel. It's kind of that style.
Do we need
But
to
then you
rinse
also-
glasses
then
before
you-
we pour the next
Yes,
one?
for sure.
Oh,
Then you
boy.
also tell
You
Ramsey.
finished it pretty much.
Then you
So
also tell
it's
Ramsey,
just
like, hey,
leaking
brother,
back
you
in.
need to kick rocks.
that's just bottle or glass drip.
Yeah.
Glass drip.
I don't know.
Drip.
I just thought that the Kenneth Grant with people being there as in Barron and as in both safeties. I feel like that's what makes that pick. And I know that Kenneth Grant has this, like maybe the talent to be there.
There
was
was like
Walter, Nolan, Harmon were both still on the board at this point.
Yeah,
You
no, I like
can't-
that better, too.
They're both better.
I like it too. Grant,
I was going to say, man, their
Grant has to
evaluation.
develop.
Their
He's
their
a two-down
evaluation
player.
led them
Correct.
otherwise. Maybe
But
that's exactly what
he
they want.
looks like he could be the best defensive.
You got to
tackle
go
just by
get.
looking at
You
him,
got to
man.
go get
He's a
Josh
fucking
Allen. You got to go
Greek
get Josh
god.
Allen 2 times a year. You
But
get.
Kenneth Grant's only a two-down player. He's only a run stopper at this point in his career.
But what I'm saying though is like he is going to be a beast of enough to fucking plug up that middle to not let big body Allen through that fucking aisleway.
And the other tackle they took, Phillips, like a lot of the potential was there, but he's all raw. He's not gonna like
all raw.
The picks.
like he's not gonna help you much.
Raw.
He's not gonna help you this much.
The
that
two
much
picks.
this year.
The two picks.
I don't think.
I like. I like the guard from Arizona.
Yeah.
I like him, and I do like Ollie Gordon,
Get him
and I
in the
do.
sixth.
And
They
I
got
and I
their
do like.
quarterback of the
And I
future.
do like
Ewers
Quinn
in
Ewers
the
in the seventh.
That was the last quarterback taken, and
He-
it fits their system.
He is going to keep him upright and just let him use his. Now you got to get him to like more. You just got to get him to start using that lower body. In my opinion, he doesn't use enough. It's all arm talent, which some of those throws we saw in one of those games is fucking some of the prettier throws we've seen throughout the year. Now we just got to get his lower body and start driving the fucking ball, man.
Drive that goddamn ball into the ground. No, I'm just kidding.
I give him this because of the Kenneth Grant pick, and I almost want to go this because of it. I'm going this. I hate it
Yeah,
that
you know what?
much.
I'll go with you, Zach.
I hate it. Trev's just a hate man. Trev can't give no thumbs up.
I gave 2.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Trev. That you've only given 2 thumbs up.
I've given like 5 or 6.
I'd
dude.
have 2.
I've given a lot. I would start off 4 for 4. All right, so next up is the Minnesota Vikings.
Next
And
up, you guys
that.
need to finish your fucking brewskis.
Hey,
so we
you
can
need
move
to
into
you
this.
need to just calm
Hey,
yourself there.
Slow it down with
Chuggy
this beer,
pants.
all right?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
M's.
I'm trying to.
I don't want to do to myself what you just did to
I'm
yourself. I
and
saw that face.
I'm
Not much
enjoying
pleasant.
it. No, I'm so sorry that this
I would
beer's
like
too
to.
heavy.
I
for
would
you.
like to enjoy another one before
I'm
we
sure
finish.
you would.
Minnesota didn't have a lot of picks.
No.
I don't. I mean, I love Donovan Jackson, the guard.
Yep, like that.
The receiver at 3 seemed. I know he might be a good receiver, but it just seemed like a reach
Yeah.
with whatever else you needed as in cornerback in every other position on the
Agreed.
field.
Agreed.
Defensive tackle you needed to, and you didn't like you. There was
You didn't draft a D tackle in the D tackle draft. You
Correct.
don't get a corner when that seems like it's a bigger position of need than wide receiver.
I just feel like that receiver pick isn't. I don't know. I don't love it.
That should have been the DT right there.
I love Donovan Jackson.
That's what I. That's, yeah.
Otherwise,
Kobe
I don't really care for this
Also,
draft.
well, they also don't have enough. They didn't
Kobe
have enough
King.
darts to
I don't
throw,
mind-
so
I don't
to
mind
miss
Kobe
on the
King,
darts
Trev.
you did is not really.
Kobe King linebacker. I didn't mind him. Out of
No, I
Penn State.
agree. I agree with that.
Next team really did a really good job in the first 5 picks, 4
Ooh,
picks.
Yeah.
They really killed it. Will Campbell, you have your starting tackle now forever. Travion Henderson is explosive back to go with Ramon Stevens. You now have fire,
And
lightning.
he fits the classic Patriot running back.
Well,
too.
and it's funny because there was a lot of smoke around the Patriots might take Genty at 4, right? Or the Jaguars are going to take Genty at 5.
I just think that the Patriots, that tackle position was so weak, they had to go with one of them.
You have to tell your quarterback
Had to.
that we are investing in you.
But
too.
we are protecting your ass.
Absolutely. You are our franchise.
Kyle Williams
Durake
in the
Meyer.
third round, killer pick.
Yeah, that's a great
Jared
pick,
Wilson
I think.
center, killer pick.
No,
Yep,
they did it.
Best center in the draft.
Look at the movement
He's
around
young,
all
but I
of
like
this,
him a lot.
all of this board. They drafted just a little bit of everything. Like a long snapper. That talk about a fucking luxury pick.
Is Craig Woodson Rod's son?
I was wondering that myself.
One can only hope because that's good lineage, huh?
But I think they did
Farmer in the 4th. Dude,
Correct.
I love this draft.
No, yeah, it's,
thumbs up.
It's a solid. They had
Here's my third or whatever. Thumbs
14.
up.
They had like 14 picks.
they killed it.
Next up, Nolans. This is the Saints.
Solidifying your offensive line. You took the kid
Yep,
from
I like
Oregon State
Banks.
last year. Now you have Banks. So now you have both tackles. It's just your team building. You
Yeah.
then got Shuck, who can start day one if Carr can't go.
Yeah, and getting both tackles in the last 2 drafts after the other tackle hasn't really worked out. You
They
hope to move him inside.
They didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
I'd move him inside this year and see if you can
At guard,
get something
Penny.
there.
Yeah, because you're we both love or all 3 of us, I think, like the Oregon State kid from last year.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now you got him, Banks. Stroud or Shuck can probably start for you day one. Then you go defensive tackle, safety, linebacker, which I like the
Stutzman,
linebacker.
yeah, dude, I like him. Downhill
I
guy.
think the value of Shuck, as it were,
Quincy
for
Riley.
because he is going to
Yep.
be 26
Devin
when he
Neal.
comes in.
Yep, I
right?
like that
So
too.
That's why it fits better because he's not sitting behind like a 2 or 3.
he's played a lot of
He's coming
football.
into
Kellen
play now.
Moore can download a lot of information to that kid quickly. He's seen a lot of different ball, heard a lot of different terminologies. Like, is D-Car done? Everything says it's up in the air, but he's got to be done, right? Like,
Who knows? He's about as done as this beer.
ew.
Almost there.
I'm letting the dribbles go back into the cup. I think it's so thick.
This
dude.
is close for me. Like,
It's this for me because you killed it with the Stutzman, Riley, Neal pick at the back end. That Neal kid is going to come in just power, dude. That's a
so
stud running back in the 6th round. Dude.
yeah, and it's nice to have that opposite.
Yes.
of,
Yes. Team building.
yes, of the running back. God,
I'm going to go rinse my glass out.
Okay.
Camara?
Camara, yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, Chuck. That was almost as bad as.
It's
JJ.
not as
Chuck,
bad.
you want me to rinse yours? While
Yeah,
I'm
we're
rinsing?
gonna.
fuck.
You guys, yeah, rinse for us. Do you want me to pedal on, or are we?
Well, yeah, I want to talk about this team too, so you guys can
right.
start and I'll come in and jump.
All right, so there's a little bit behind the scenes, as it were, because we're going to keep this live. So next up is the New York Gigantes. And you know what, Giants? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not screwing up the 3rd overall pick. I'm not proud of you necessarily for the Jackson Dart. I get the swing. I get the idea, but I don't know if I like it a whole lot. He's got to work now, right? Because that's what that means. You gave up next year for him, right? So
Well, not. I mean, what do you mean you gave up next? Oh, yeah, because you
The
gave
first,
up the first.
you gotta
round
give
pick.
up the one,
So yeah,
right.
that. Yeah, it's hard to say. Was someone else gonna move up there ahead of them? To
that's
get him?
clearly what they had to have thought. I mean, you don't make that move. Well, because they still had high 2nd round, too.
Yeah,
So
that's why I posed that question. It's
yeah,
'cause,
they
like,
had to have thought that.
what are they hearing? If they're hearing if someone's gonna take him, then good, get your guy. But otherwise, I hate giving up another 1st round pick, man.
For a back end quarterback, not even a 1, 2, or
Hey,
3 quarterback. Not
doesn't
that
matter.
he can't be the dude. That's
Lamar Jackson.
history will forget if you get the pick right, what the compensation was. You know what I mean? Like,
Sorry, they're a little
it doesn't matter. It's all good. Like, it does not matter what you gave up if you got the dude, right?
Yeah, but everybody loves Carter. Like, I love Alexander. I love
That defensive
Imbo.
line, I don't want to. I am so
Marcus.
glad I don't play in the NFC East.
They killed it.
That defensive line is going to instantly be one of the most formidable groups in the NFL.
I love the balls to go up and get Dart If you like him, go
You
get
like
him.
that? Okay. See, so there you go. It's nice to have the. We were questioning
I
where that
liked-
puts the stock on this draft.
I like Jackson Dart as a quarterback.
So giving up the one
I
next
thought
year to get him
somebody
was
would go-
okay.
I had him going to the Rams one pick later.
Ramesses.
So I definitely thought it went exactly where he should have went. I think you were worried that Cleveland maybe was going that way, or I was thinking
True.
that the Saints.
True.
The team was the Saints for me. Looking at what Kellen Moore wants from a quarterback, I thought Jackson would have been more like the athletic quarterback, as in getting Shuck.
Well, clearly they didn't want to
know.
take him at 9, though. So
No, not at 9, but right there coming in the back end, I think it's appropriately drafted for this draft.
Okay.
I like it. I like getting Scatabo to bang to go with Tracy Jr.
Yeah.
You said Membao, the guard.
Yeah,
in
Mark
front-
is
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Given where he got drafted, that's a great
and then
poll.
the Darius Alexander pick in the 3rd round, when some said there was a chance he could sneak into the 1st
Yeah.
as
I
a
liked him
defensive
too.
tackle.
I like him.
So I think he did a good job, man.
And I think, what they said there, too, because they do Dexter Lawrence is a fucking animal. They have a good interior line, and
can
they're
you-
still saying, we're going to do it. If the Eagles can do it, we can, too.
their defensive line, when you look at it next year, when we go through rosters, is going to
Is
look
already,
like
I
the
can
best
already
defensive
A-plus
line.
it. I can already A-plus it with the pieces that I can name off
With
the top
Carter
of my head.
Burns, and then now you're adding
Thibodeau
Alexander
and
too.
Dexter Lawrence.
Yes,
Fuck me, dude.
that defensive line
No.
is hot.
It should be. And you can rotate. You can keep fresh bodies. You don't got to push them all at once.
Cheers.
All right, here we go. 3rd beer.
Yeah, we've definitely had this beer before, but I don't remember seeing it on the pod pictures. So here we go.
That's a nice consistency on that one.
What do you
after
guys
them
give the
thick
Giants?
boys.
I give them a plus because
Infinite Chaos from
it's
Lead
me
Dog.
because
It's
of the
plus.
for the Dart pick. Trev's gonna go.
No, I'm going up because I really think Dart is actually going to make a difference for this team.
I think it's the Abdul Carter investment. And
well, yeah,
not-
you can't shit on
You
that.
can't shit on that. He's a home
that's-
run.
Yeah.
And I love their 3rd pick too. So
Oh my goodness.
And I like the Scatabo, dude. I do.
I do. It's a pounder. Go with the Tracy.
I think that you
Tracy?
just mash. Yep, Tracy
Tracy
Jr.
Jr.?
Yeah, you just mash with those guys because he's also quick too, but he's a big boy. Tracy Jr.'s not small.
I think the New York Jets are up next. I think they did a lot of just team building as well. Membu on the back.
I
Now
can't shit on this draft.
You now have what we've talked about with the Saints. You now have your right and left tackle for hopefully a lot of years. Mason Taylor is a stud.
That's the tight end I wanted.
Aziri Thomas falling into the 3rd round is.
yeah, he was projected
I
higher.
really like that
but
pick.
I think his 40 hurt him.
And then Smith being just an absolute burner, isn't he in like that 4.3 range? Trev, is he somewhere in that range? Isn't he like super fast?
Let's see if it'll say in the notes.
Getting the other safety out of Alabama.
Yeah,
Malachi
Malachi
Moore.
Moore. I just think the Jets did a good job of just team building.
They and once again all over the board. Look at just different positions, getting things that they think can
And
come
you-
in and compete and potentially play.
One thing I like that they didn't do was take a quarterback. Because the fact that now you're trying to tell Justin Fields, look at this is
Give
like
him a
kinda
year
your-
to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Give him that confidence.
He's their best option going into
This
not
year.
taking anything at 7.
Yeah, worry about that shit next
Cam
year.
Ward was clearly the only top 10 rated quarterback. Like Shador did fall further than he should have, but it was obviously clear as day that they weren't going to take him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think they just did team building. They took the players over there, and I love Mason Taylor and Thomas. So I'm going thumbs up.
Yeah, I give him a little side. I like, of course, Mimbu and Taylor and Thomas. Not so sold on the other guys. And
You know what? Because the Jets always fuck up at least 2 to 4
that's
draft
kinda
picks
my
every
thoughts.
year. I'm going to go with this. They can't develop. I swear every year I look at their board, I'm like, wow. And then they come
you're
out on the
like,
field and you're like, whoa.
yeah, it's the Jets.
This team,
They get a knock for just being the Jets.
They do. They should.
the next team I like.
Hey, we didn't
next one.
introduce the beer, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, let's rewind.
I love me some Lead Dog, and it's called Infinite Chaos. It's a single hazy. And it's a
tasty
nice
beer.
It's definitely more beer than like this thing. The lactose really made that bitch like a fucking milkshake, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It was a little too much. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what it was gonna be. We took a swing. The flavor point was good, and the bottle's chill. I like the bottle a lot, but
It's just too much of a thing.
there's
Light
dude,
it up a little bit.
I am fucking glad that I didn't try to open that bitch by
Make it
myself. That would have been
hard.
Yeah.
Did you force yourself to drink all that if you were by yourself?
1,000%. Yes.
Dude, that would have been a struggle, dude.
I would have. Yeah. We don't waste no beer in this house.
All right. Let's head check.
Philly started off strong, but I feel like didn't get other pieces.
Finish strong.
Yeah, like I love the Jahad Camel pick, obviously.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Mbuka, Texas safety. Tyler Robinson win. But then after that, where's your tight end and receivers? You have 2 elite receivers, but you don't really have anybody after that. Where's your receiver in a receiver draft that was really
They didn't take
good?
a single one. No.
But it was really good in that, like, that area. Then you didn't go.
Maybe, yeah.
And no tight end either. I feel like you went, Kyle McCord, I love that pick in the 6th round.
That's
but other
good.
than that, like,
Insurance.
just kind of, I don't know. Cameron Williams in the 6th round, I guess, is a nice pick.
I like Bolton Jr. in the 5th too. Like another Georgia player just fits. And I think he has the athletic traits to develop into somebody too.
I just don't see that other receiver when you kind of had a pretty good receiver draft right there in those middle rounds.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A couple, like the first 2 picks I love, and then there's a couple picks I like. And then there's a bunch of other picks.
Like I love the first 2 picks, but after that it's kind of like Ty Robinson. Okay, Cameron Williams that far down. Okay, I like Kyle McCord in the 6th round, but I don't know. I'm only going sideways, but I do love Jahad.
And that's why they get even that. Without Jahad, they would be
if they drafted someone else in the 1st round, I'd probably be giving them a thumbs down.
No, but the fact that can we understand why there would be a 1-team trade up? Is that because you're worried about somebody else other than the team in front of you going and getting their pick? Is that why they would trade that?
I guess so.
Like you're talking to this other person, right? So it has to be they're on the phone with another team and they're like squeezing you for like, hey, what do you got to offer? Because I can give this pick to so and so. Yeah, because the 1 pick up is just bizarre to me. It means that they must be dealing with a third party. That's what it's got to be. But they gave up not much, but they moved up a spot to get him.
Well, to the Steelers.
To the Steelers.
You know what? Good job, Steelers. You stuck to the path that you needed to. I like that Will Howard pick. I like that.
So you're just going to be
pick.
mediocre offensively this year, and you sign a receiver that's just going to bitch and complain.
Everybody I heard is that Aaron Rodgers is going to sign eventually.
And it seems like they're banking on that a bit.
He's going to show up out of shape, not ready to go, doesn't know the fucking team or the playbook.
That being said, looking at this draft, this is a Steelers draft. I think this is a personnel fit.
Agree.
I think it's a team.
Caleb Johnson in the
chemistry,
second
culture fit all the way.
Agreed. 1,000%.
Yeah, Harmon,
Caleb
Johnson, Yaha Black.
Yeah.
That's so Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yep, and guess what they'll be? So Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Raiders do have a classic rivalry with the Steelers. It's a throwback, but it exists.
It's a medium. I mean, they pick players. Good. They did another Steelers thing.
There is no. I feel like there's no pow though. Like pow.
Great.
Like
having 9
splashes.
and 8. Great job.
You got Mason Rudolph, and then you drafted.
I like that Jack Sawyer fucking pick though, but I don't think he's necessarily. I think he's a little slow.
I don't like him.
I think he's a little slow.
I think he's a good fit for the team though.
Yeah, mediocreness.
Damn.
Overall, because there's no true pop. I'm right here.
It's close.
We gotta skip.
We're gonna
skip
a couple.
Tampa Bay.
Skip a seals.
Skip it.
This is another draft I'm not stoked about at all.
That number 1 pick was the most confusing of the first round, without question.
I love
they
Benjamin.
Took your boy in
I
the
love
second
Benjamin
round.
Morrison. I love him, but other than that, it's.
I like Parrish too. They just are trying to really fix that position.
There were another. It was another
Where's your
team
linebacker,
that
though?
didn't have.
Where is your linebacker? Jahad Campbell, you fucking idiots, was right there. You missed. You fucking missed. Thumbs down. Thumbs fucking down.
I would have taken him over Mbuka for sure.
Well, for you don't need Mbuka the way you need a Jahad Campbell.
Before we go to fandom, I might need to use the little boys' room.
Okay. Kimbuka, like they draft him because the
like
other
that.
receivers are older and you might be going a new direction soon.
I
But
can
I'd
understand.
rather have that linebacker.
But you just
I'd
drafted
rather
what's
have
his name
Campbell.
McMillan last year, and he had a good year. And remember when those other two
Godwin
dudes got
just
hurt?
re-signed.
McMillan was so big. Him and Baker were like on the page.
On the page.
I
page,
think
baby.
I think it's a waste of draft
On
pick
the
with
page.
Campbell there, with other people there. You have your linebacking core sucks, and now you didn't help out your team.
You could have gone edge rusher there. You could have gone.
I still give him side because I like Elijah Roberts.
I
in the
like
5th
Morrison.
round.
Or not Baltimore, but a Tampa Bay pick. That is a very much Morrison's going to fit
that's
that
where Ted
scheme
Johnson
perfect.
wins.
Like, but this is where Tez Johnson again. So then there's a flyer. They're clearly saying that they want some younger business in the wide receiver room, but I'm down. I can't stand that first pick.
Next team is the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, taking Cam Ward 1. The edge from UCLA is a great pick. Safety's good. I do like the Elick Amora pick in the 4th round. I think he's good.
The goddamn Gunnar Helm pick in the 4th is
That's a stud pick too, man.
That's a perfect pick for them.
Just helping out your quarterback, getting that receiver and getting that tight end.
No, and then to back it up with the kid from Stanford. Yes, no, that's a clutch one too. To say Cam Ward, we are
In the
investing
4th
in
round
you.
for
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah, I like this team building right here. Callahan will see how he does. Year 2 with a potential roster in front of him because last year his roster was shit.
I still
he
have
inherited not a great team.
I still have my questions, but
Sure.
Cam Ward could change this. But right now, I gotta go
Same here.
flat line.
Last one before we start fandom, which might need to take a little break for that.
Yeah, a little break before for sure.
Conley Jr., good pick.
Like
Again, good pick. And I love the Trey Amos pick.
Like it.
You didn't have a lot of picks, so it's really hard to kind of like.
But they knew that, and they addressed a lot of their needs in free agency.
And I do like
they did
the
a really good job
I do
of
like-
retaining and then also going and working the market.
The
So
Jalen Lane pick is a nice pick, but
In the
because
4th round.
Yeah.
it's got to be here
Because
because
you
you
didn't
don't
have enough.
have you don't have an right
I mean,
a 5 draft pick is
It's-
always going to
yeah,
be
it's
just
harder to
middle of the
judge.
road.
Josh
Yeah.
and Trey could be
Exactly.
starters for you day one,
Sure.
and if they end up playing out, it's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
But without the rest of the picks to kind of like help move this draft up.
buffer, sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, so we're gonna take a break and then come back with our 3 teams, which I know we have plenty to say. Welcome back to the pod for the fandom. Cheers, boys.
Fandom. This is the deep fandom. That's why we had to make a cut ski.
All right, I'll start off.
Let it out.
Very impressed.
If you got it in your heart, you let it out.
Very impressed with the draft. Thought that they worked it perfectly, taking Genty in the 1st round.
Yep.
They could have went Membu. They could have went, an edge there. It would have been like Walker or Reach with Williams, but Williams at that point would have been a reach. I do like where we went with Genty there. 2nd round trading back twice to get 2 more 3rd round picks was a fucking home run to still get Jack Beck. He's starting on the opposite side this year. He's easily our number 2 receiver with Myers, and then you obviously have Bowers. Trey Tucker's kind of the speed guy, but then we'll get into that a little bit. Darian Porter, obviously we all know my love for him, my excitement, 6'2", that speed. See
Size and speed is ridiculous.
And you also is going to a Pete Carroll team that's now if you look at all our corners, they're all like 6'1", 6'2", I'm pretty sure. So we got a lanky backfield.
Pete Carroll defense.
Sorry, excuse me. It says offensive tackle next to Caleb Rogers. He's going to be the guard from Texas Tech, which, taking a player that played tackle in college and then moving him to guard is always nice because then if you do get in that pinch injury-wise, you can bounce him out and he has some positional knowledge. The Charles Grant pick from William & Mary is one of my favorite picks. Taking him, if Colton Miller does, because he's on a last year contract, he didn't show up to voluntary workout. So that was some of the speech before with the Membu thing is, oh shit. So now you have Grant who can now play either right or left tackle if needed. I think it's a great pick there. And then Deontay Thornton Jr.
Burner.
6'5", 4'3", 40. He only does
and
one
tall.
thing good, but he does that one thing really, really good, and it's run straight and jump up high.
Might need to work on that catching a little bit.
That's two things, sir. You are discrediting this man's ability. You said he's only good at one thing, and then you immediately said two things he did good.
Running the 9 route. No, running the 9 route. He's got the deep ball. We got to work more. He's going to have to get with the receiver coach.
No, I understand the point you're trying to make.
He is amazing at the deep ball, and he is 6'5", and he's going to out-jump everybody. So I really like that pick there. The next 2 picks I like, but I'm a little disappointed that the linebacker or cornerback position wasn't
here
in one of these two. Either one's nice. I do like JJ in the 4th. The Tonko thing, I really wish that would have been a linebacker. I really do. That's the one miss in this draft, in my opinion, is not going linebacker here. JJ in the 6th round is a great pick in the 6th round. I love the Tommy Mellett pick, 4.39. We just added another athlete, and he won the best player in the FCS last year with 2,000 yards rushing and 3,000 yards throwing. So just a stud athlete. Cam Miller, I really like this in the 6th round. We were actually, a couple people had us with him. So there must have been some talk early on, because Cam Miller to the Raiders, I heard from a couple different people, hey, watch out for the North Dakota State guy. Hey, watch out for the North Dakota State guy. And then Lindenberg. And then Cody Lindenberg, linebacker, probably a special teamer. I don't know if he'll get to that starter. That's why
special teams, you get a contributor in the 7th. That's a win.
But I think he's going to be on the team. I think we did a great job. The Tonka Hemingway pick in the 4th round, I wish we could have been, linebacker really is what I really wish we could have went there. Other than that, I think it's a home run draft. Trading down twice in the 2nd round and still getting Jack, and then being able to get the 2 offensive linemen almost back-to-back picks. I think, back-to-back picks was amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is the draft I think it was to get those extra picks in the middle rounds, because I think there was more value there this year. That's a good move. I'm with you. The Hemingway linebacker, or maybe even Shador there, I think would have been. I would have liked it a little bit better.
Me too.
Do you have anything to add on these Raiders? Anything you want to say about this draft?
Way to not screw it up. Way to stick to the plan of what you needed to do, and you didn't get talked off of guys, and you made the picks that you needed to. And as much as it's going to be insane to see Pete on that sideline, he's going to charge these dudes up. He's a good coach, and I think after taking a year off, he's going to come back a little reinvigorated. But overall, dude, Zach, this is a killer draft, man. You addressed a lot of needs with a lot of potential really good talent in the areas that you needed to without giving up too much. In fact, you didn't give up anything. You recouped. You moved down, still got prospects.
I thought that was a home run both times.
I mean, that alone is great.
There were corners on the board. I'm like, okay, you could get that, in the 2nd round. And I was like, oh, man, you're missing this corner. Okay, you just missed this corner. But then going with Jack there, I think that you went solid receiver.
With Porter's pretty good.
Yeah. I really think you can look at our cornerbacks, and I think they're all 6'1".
I just love that they didn't reach. They didn't make the Raider pick.
Fuck, I think I gotta give.
They always make one Raider pick, and you can't see one across this board where you're like, oh, okay,
it looks a little different. It looks a little different.
It looks
Good job, Spytech, Brady. All right, Charlie, you're up next, brother.
Dude, let's go. We're gonna scroll on over to the best draft of the year. No.
The greatest draft.
Alva. No, all right.
In the history of drafts.
Nailed it. Thank you for giving my intro. Gray Zabel, yes, I like it. Definitely addresses our biggest need. Now, if we can unlock Christian Haynes that we drafted last year, and then if Oluwatimi can play a decent center with our tackles, I don't think that line is as far off from being fixed as some people say it is. But Gray Zabel is a great pick, and I screamed at my television. I was on the way home from work when the news that this trade had broke, and I was able to park and get into the TV and watch it happen. And Nick Emenwari was who I wanted in the 1st. So the fact that we got Zabel and Emenwari, with giving up minimal capital. We gave up the additional second, and then a third. So not an additional second, but I mean the second to move them up. So they moved up twice. They move up and got a pick. But I think that's a great move for us. The Arroyo pick, when he has been hurt a good amount, but when he is on, he's a target. He's a weapon. He can be used in a lot of different ways. Clearly, Kubiak must like him. I think the way that this draft shook out and the picks that they made, it really looks like they let both sides of the ball take the people that they wanted. They didn't try to step on each other's toes or whatever. Like the offense picks screams like what Kubiak wants, and then the defense picks. Jalen Milroe. Okay, I am all in on this pick. I kept shaking Trevor all night. I was like, we got Milroe. I was stoked, dude. I think the swing for the prospect is just so great considering we didn't have to move any other equity to get him. And
you don't need to spend a third round pick on it.
Yeah, and I don't know. We aren't going to try to trot him out this year.
Nah.
I love that pick. Barring injury. But we also have Drew Lock to back up Sam Darnold.
A couple packages for him, though.
Yeah, sure. that's the
ball
get
in
in
that
his
man's
hands for sure. Why not get him on the NFL field, get him comfortable a little bit. Also with the threat to throw, right? That has to sit in the back of your noggin. Yep. So there's that. The Riley Mills pick in the 5th is a fucking legit pick. It's just one of those situations where he's
Love that pick. It's one of my favorite picks of the whole draft.
It's a baseball pick. It's knowing that this year is going to be kind of a redshirt year.
Yep.
You're going to bring him in. He's going to get to know the system. He'll rehab. He might play a little bit towards the end of the year if he feels good or something like that, but he's not going to be an immediate piece, but he could be a piece within a 2 years, 3 years kind of thing. Yep. That could be.
I was so hoping that we were going to take him.
Because Big Cat, listen to me, bro. Leonard Williams, I fucking love you, dude. But, you're getting up there in the age for DTs. If you give me 2 or 3 more solid fucking years, I will be grateful for that. Because he was almost all pro level. I think he got kind of snubbed. He got snubbed for the Pro Bowl for sure, at least. He had a 96-yard TD return. Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers, in the Meadowlands. I'm sorry. All right. About the draft. Torrey Horton, dude, I like this pick.
Good pick.
This pick makes sense for the team and what we need in the receiver room. The Oots pick out of Alabama, he's going to be our fullback. Kubiak said coming into laying out is he likes the Picard, he likes the use check.
Damn, that boy is 274.
He's Picard. He's what he had in Baltimore.
Okay.
So that's because they listed him. That's when they took him. I was like, another tight end. Like, what the fuck? And then you read everything, and you're like, oh no, he's going to convert to fullback. It's like within the scheme that we want to run, that's perfect. That
seems like a
perfect
backup offensive lineman at 274.
I'm good with that too.
To that than a fullback.
Let's check that out. That's basically what a fullback is. Well, a backup lineman that can catch. I love that pick. Kansas, this boy out of Kansas, Cowaldu is going to kick into guard is what they're saying. He's a fucking hog molly, but he's got kind of short arms, but good explosiveness.
You kick him in the guard after drafting Zabel?
Yeah, or just no. I mean,
he seems like
no. We're gonna. Well, no, yeah. The competition at guard is wide open.
I mean, he seems like
the competition at guard is wide open on either side.
Just for the contract's sake.
Sure. No, I don't disagree. Hopefully but we've notoriously had injuries up and down our offensive line. Investing in that and depth is not a bad thing at all. That Damian Martinez is a fucking hoss, dude. This kid can run the rock. We double up on Miami kids. We double up on Alabama kids. And then, once again, Mason Richmond out of Michigan. So, I'm sorry, Iowa. Yeah, I was thinking Big Ten. Yeah, why not? Dart. That's it. That's just a dart. Same with Ricky White. Is supposed to just be special teams.
The Ricky White.
I like that more.
He's gonna make special teams. He'll make the roster.
He had 3 block
Yeah,
Field goals.
He's
Four
making
last year.
Four, yeah.
Four.
Yeah.
Like, to get that in the last pick, you at least have that. He can contribute there immediately.
My
For a seventh round pick, that's
big.
great.
Yeah.
My only
that's big.
question to you, Charlie, was wouldn't have been you thought an offensive tackle sooner in the draft? Maybe that would be my only question. Would have been
Well, yes, because we didn't take a true tackle.
no, not really. Because
We
if you say the kid in the 6 rounds of
both of our
guard,
tackles are going to be guard prospects. We didn't take a tackle, which you're right. In that aspect, we did need a bona fide tackle. Because I love Abe Lucas and Charles Cross, but they both battled injuries just last year together.
when the trade came in at 3, I looked at Johnny, and Johnny said Shador, and I said, no, I bet it's the kid from Minnesota. I thought you guys were getting up to get because wasn't Texans next?
Yeah.
But then I thought Texans were going to take him there and not take the receiver, and then
trade
Texans
back.
got him like a couple of
Yeah.
But I was like, oh shit, they're going to take the tackle. Charlie's coming up to get that tackle, Ursi. That's what I like, literally on the spot.
Yeah,
that's
no.
what I thought.
And I will say one thing about our draft that isn't highlighted in the picks: the availability to move Sam Howell within the next day to Minnesota to
move.
get some sort of value out of him, rather
Get the guy
than
in
just
the draft. Get something
yes,
for
exactly.
a guy that's not going to be on your roster.
Nailed it. And it does in fact help Minnesota because they don't have they have JJ, and then now they have Sam Howell.
So the only question I really have
Go
for
for
you is just looking at the list of needs on ESPN. It has the center and the edge blank, not addressed in the draft.
No, I don't. Okay, center Olu. I like our center. It depends on what they feel about him, but they just drafted a guard, 3 guards potentially, or a center. Zabel can play center. Like, it remains to be seen what position he will actually
he
be
can
on
play
that
center.
line. He can play just about anywhere up and down that line. So, and then I can't give myself super A plus. It's a thumbs up because I fucking love the first 3 picks. I love the first 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, I like this draft. I like this draft. Thumbs up for me. But I wish we would have taken a linebacker or a cornerback. One of those two. We didn't get a single one of those.
Yeah, it's also a thumbs up for me.
Excellent.
This might be my closest double thumbs, maybe.
Appreciate that.
I go thumbs up
But
because
I'm not going to give you that.
I go thumbs up because
I didn't give anybody
You
that.
shouldn't.
because there's no actual tackle that was taken, so that would be where I was here to here, but I do like the first 5 really well. You could even tackle. The
Let me
fifth round.
ask you a sidebar within this, just as a projection of talent. Do you think Jalen Milroe can develop?
He's got to be. I mean, Josh Allen did, but I think Josh threw the ball better than Jalen coming
He
in.
did.
Jalen's
He
a
did.
way better runner than we've ever seen. Jalen's very mechanical. Like, he looks like a robot throwing the football. You got to get some like fluidness to him. He's gonna have to work his ass off to do it. Does he? I don't know. The Georgia game, he like threw a couple deep balls that were on point, but it's the other stuff, the floating it, the fucking the slants, being able to put it in
The
back
middle
pocket.
throw is harder than you would ever fucking believe. That middle of the field or like that 10-yard out is the hardest throw you're going to make in the
I
NFL
know.
because those corners and those safeties are fucking lethal. Like,
And he's got a cannon for an arm. I don't know.
but if you can't dictate the cannon, if you can't use it at the capacity you need to when you need to, then it's useless.
Like what's his name? Just Lamar got a little bit more accurate in the NFL. Jalen has gotten a little bit more accurate, but Josh has made the biggest jump we've seen anybody. Usually, accuracy is one of those things. If you're not in college, you're not in the pros.
I will say that, I mean, I would feel like I would have hope in that position. You have
I do.
Pete
He
Carroll,
seems like a
who's
hard
had
worker.
similar quarterbacks that he's worked with. He seems like a hard worker.
He's not Pete Carroll anymore, Holmes.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
and that is okay. That's true.
but I feel like he fits that same kind of background, though, dude. Like,
I just want.
I think he's gonna be a hard worker. I just we'll see.
I want to develop him because the idea of his dual threat would be so insane. If you can get him to give me 175 yards in the air with a touchdown and a pick roughly a game, I'm willing to take that at a starting quarterback who can run like that. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, with Kenneth Walker And with dude, I just think that
if you have the coaching staff to make those adjustments and game plan that way correctly for his
Kubiak's
style
zone
and to
running
get the
scheme.
most out of
Let's
it,
go.
yes, it can be effective.
he used Taysom Hill.
All right, Trev.
Yeah, lay it on us, Niners, to close it out.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. So
It's true.
first and second picks, we go back to how we built the program when Shanahan arrived. Mikael Williams, Alfred Collins, reminiscent of a Buckner Armstead. We get these big guys with length up front.
Linebacker, you went your first 5 were defense, baby.
Yes, first 5 picks were defense, and I
Defense,
love
baby.
it. I love it because it was bad last year, man. And we bring in the better coach on defense and special teams, and we address those needs in the draft. There should be a drastic change for both of those sides of the ball. Third round, Martin was a bit of a surprise for me because he missed all of last year.
He's a stud if he stays healthy.
Yes, and
Side to side.
He performed at the combine, so it looked like a clean bill, and that's why I think the team went that way, because before he was a tackling machine. So again, health, that's a little bit of a risk, but it was a position of need after losing Greenlaw, obviously. Upton, stout. This guy, he pops on tape. He's a bit undersized. But this is probably one of our lower positions of depth on the team. We got Trey Brown, and hopefully he stays healthy, because if he does, then Upton's probably not going to see too much game time. But otherwise, he's going to be injected early and often if Trey has any injury concerns this season. And he's going to be he'd be the nickel. That's what they drafted him for, really. That's his best position, I feel like. CJ West, I was fired up about at the 4th pick, because I think he's going to be playing next to Alfred Collins as the 2 defensive starting tackles for the 49ers. They'll have them, they're going to be playing with other guys, but those guys, I think, could be the strongest at both of those positions.
That's a smash.
Jordan Wilkins, this was a bit of a surprise for me, but I knew we were going to go wide receiver, losing Debo, and this guy, he's fast.
Trading Debo.
Blazer.
Yes. Yeah, and I feel like Lane Kiffin also used him in similar ways, to kind of get him open, and some of the blocking that they do in Ole Miss. I think there's comps there stylistically, offensively. So, I mean, all these picks, too, there's a lot. I'm looking at the San Francisco draft recap, and there's most of the picks we're drafting out of position, really. We're drafting lower than what they are ranked generally, but I think we're drafting more to fit our scheme, our team, what we need.
That's what matters.
And
That's
yes.
what matters 1,000,000%. Get your dude. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. If you can get the guy that changes, doesn't matter where you get him.
Exactly. So I mean that's the hope. At least you're not going to hit on everybody, but you're at least getting guys that seem like good fits. Jordan James, getting him in the 5th. We needed kind of a short yardage back. Christian McCaffrey, older, health concerns. We drafted Grubb last year, but I don't know. His vision needs to develop a little bit further.
Well, yeah, because you traded Jordan Mason, so you're going to go with
Need to get some
McCaffrey and
glasses.
Garendo. I got to get that LASIK.
Yeah.
I thought Bruce Arians was black till I got LASIK. That's what James Winston said.
Jordan James, I feel like that team changed when they started using him more. He doesn't have the greatest, long speed, but he pops. I think he had, some of the most, over 20-yard runs.
Hey, man.
And Curtis Rourke be starting in a couple years.
We're not going to pay Purdy this year.
I think
still got to get you
he
another
jumped
NFC
to our
championship.
7th round, and the hope is that he becomes the guy that replaces Mac.
Mr. Irrelevant.
You hope he replaces
He's Mr.
Mac.
Semi-irrelevant. We drafted him in the 6th.
You hope he replaces Mac Jones.
You do.
Mac Jones.
He's a big. How tall is that fool?
6'4", I believe.
6'4", 220. He's a big guy.
So he's prototypical. Nothing like special.
Just another. He's
talent-wise.
coming off another knee though. That would be. That's the.
Yeah,
he played with the whole torn ACL though last year. Getting
he's-
props.
He's gonna be maybe.
That's borderline dumb as shit if you think about it, though.
He's gonna be the training camp quarterback. I feel like that. Hopefully, can develop into somebody that replaces.
He
Mac
should
Jones.
be able to take over from Mac. He's got better weapon or better. I think he's got a better arm.
It's probably pretty close.
Overall, the way that you mastermind the draft, doing defense and then offense makes a lot of sense to me.
I still would have liked to have seen maybe a tackle up there. I know you guys went edge.
I feel the same
defense.
way. That was the one position I was like, oh, I wish we would get a little bit better because we don't really know who the right guard is at this point.
Especially the 4th round with the receiver Watkins. That would have been the position you went running back next, but maybe tackle there. That kind of one the linebacker. I think you needed the linebacker.
I sensed it in the group chat. I was like 4th round. I was really hoping for an offensive lineman.
That's true.
I feel like that was a bigger position of weakness. And we're going to do a shuffle, and we only really had one spot open for that offensive line, and we eventually draft Connor Kobe out of Iowa. So I think he's going to be on the roster, but I don't know if he's probably not going to be Pooney. No, he's not going to be Pooney. I'll say that right now. He's not coming in right away and playing. You're hoping that he becomes that guy eventually.
Overall, though, man, I gotta give you an up. I do.
I mean, I also got to just hit on real quick. We drafted Marquise Sigel. That is like he could be a free safety. He was 3'7". We got faster at both defensive backs between him and Upton Stout.
I just think the team building.
I think it all relies on Mikel, because if Mikel it doesn't go off, then it is just a medium draft. It's like a 3/4 because of Williams.
3/4.
And just our last pick too, completely not even ranked. Junior Burgeon. Montana. This is going to be. He's a special. This is the guy that's going to make the team with our last pick. He could be our starting returner. This guy had 8 returned punt touchdowns. I mean, this guy was a running back that converted to receiver. This is Kyle Shanahan kind of.
Sure,
I got 2 FCS guys.
Hey, no, we all took the Flyer 7th round receiver, like we just said. Getting a special teamer at that pick is of value, dude.
I go thumbs up just with the first 5 picks, all being defense in all positions of need.
And so you get 2 thumbs up and
one sideways
and a medium.
It's the Mikel Williams pick. It's just
it borderlines
might be a little high, but again,
dude,
if you'd have went Walter Nolan there, I would have given you.
All right, so to put a little pretty bow on this, what do you give the draft overall this year? I think honestly,
it was amazing.
I gave a lot of thumbs. I gave a lot of thumbs up. I think the draft itself absolutely slayed for most teams.
I think the teams did a lot of team building. We saw a lot.
I think I only gave out 3 thumbs down, 3 or 4 thumbs down.
Yeah, me too.
Like everybody was at least here.
This fucking guy Harden.
Hey man,
my thumbs down and my thumbs up are comparable in the overall of how many I gave.
That's true. It's about you did like
most
2,
of the guys.
each. And that's how it should be. I guess I'm a homer.
I mean, I might be too. We're all homers.
Sure.
Who we kidding?
Rookie of the year, Raider.
The draft.
Raider? Rookie? You're calling rookie of the year
already, brother?
Well, no, I'm just
put it on wax. Running back.
One last question. Did you prefer? I preferred the NFL Network panel over the ESPN panel.
I like
the one moment that I watched the ESPN panel. The one I try after watching it's. And I didn't like where they positioned both of them. The ESPN panel was like literally in the pocket of the draft, and the NFL Network is like in the fucking backyard, dude. You can barely see them.
I like both. The third day, Field Yates kind of bugs me a little bit. I like Matt Miller a lot. I like Lewis. I like Lewis and Mel more and I don't hate Greenberg as much as people do. So then
I don't
kind
hate
of like
Greeny. I don't hate Greeny at all.
I like the ESPN one more.
I like
don't
Eisen
Booger.
and Jeremiah and that's
Yeah,
the
David
bookends on the NFL Network. I love those two.
I like Lewis and Mel. I love Mel. You guys know how I feel about Mel.
Yeah, I liked Mel all the way up until the Shador thing where it was like fucking 12 minutes of him ranting.
I missed the rant, but I mean, dude, it's crazy that
Real hard. It was a real hard rant.
It's crazy.
So
that,
overall, man, fucking great goddamn week in sports. We're going to be rounding out the NBA playoffs. The NHL playoffs, we'll have to scoop some fucking news into there here soon,
some
too, because that
wins.
is going on.
my Knights are 2-2.
Okay, and there you go. That's the one that matters locally. But we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you for Pod 95. Make sure you follow us, Buzzsprout, Spotify for the vocals, YouTubes if you're looking at these pretty faces.
We should have more finishing of the NBA playoffs next week to talk about, too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. See you then.
Cheers.